Yeah, we've been hearing about that for weeks, months now. And yet we've seen this, grinding battles going on along the Eastern Front around Bakhmut and so on. But no real sign just yet of a renewed offensive. How do you read this, Robert? Is Putin just biding his time, waiting for the right moment to try to regain more territory? Or do you think that he is really struggling to get the manpower and the equipment together to actually mount a bigger offensive when he's got so much tied up in that battle around a not particularly important strategic target, Bakhmut?
Yeah, there are three or four towns along that stretch of the front. And if you think of the front as being about 1,000 kilometers, 850 miles or so, it's very interesting to see the game, the push and pull of strengths and weaknesses of both sides. Now, again, the information war has been absolutely terrific. We were led to believe that things like the very effective HIMARS rocket system, multi-launch rocket system, were going to be decisive. Well, on really recent analysis, and there's an excellent piece from the Independent Institute for Strategic Studies, a bit of a mouthful, but their survival magazine, by two German experts, Franz Stefan Gadi and Michael Kaufmann. I'm sorry to go into great detail about this because what they point out is really quite staggering. Actually, the war has been very old-fashioned, and it's been the strengths and weaknesses of massed artillery and men, and it is mostly men, in either well-equipped or poorly equipped, either well-trained or poorly trained, either well-motivated or not, of both sides charging against defenses across open ground. It has been a bitter war of attrition. Now, when we look forward to the summer, we have to see what are the strengths and weaknesses in quite conventional armaments and mostly artillery and manpower, and how that will balance. And the balance could go either way. But the one thing to be sure is that the Ukrainians are not even telling their closest allies really what they're up to. So a lot of the leaks are fake news.
I wanted to just ask you about President Macron's visit to China. He went for those talks with President Xi. Many here in the UK thought that he shouldn't necessarily even be doing that because of China's role in all of this. Do you think President Macron was right to speak directly to the Chinese leader and to say to him, look, don't go giving more support to President Putin in this, and indeed at a time when President Xi is talking about his own so-called peace plan?
Yes, it's very easy to caricature Macron, a boy. Don't we in the Anglo-Saxon press, not only UK, but to an extent in America, love doing it. But actually, he sees himself as the leader of Europe, I think with some justification of one of the major players in this thing. And he is absolutely right, as far as I can tell. I notice the way he sees it. He's got to find out what's in Xi's mind. And that's why he's putting it to it straight. Do you really think you are going to get medium or long-term advantage? Forget about the world and stability and global trade, but for China out of supporting Russia. And he knows jolly well that China is driving its Russian policy with one foot firmly on the brake and one foot on the accelerator.
Okay.
And I think he's exercising a piece of leverage. Actually, it's pretty intelligent.